What's up, everybody? Mr. Mill coming to ya on a small fry show, the one and only. So, on tonight's video, we're gonna talk about extra board versus line haul. But you already know what I need you to do. Before we get too deep in this thing, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to come join the family. So, we left Erie, we down here, we did our little switch in Canton, we headed back to Columbus. So, I thought this would be a good topic, and I actually got the next, counting this video, I got the next 4 videos lined up. I'll do a little shorter video to tell you guys what they'll be, what to look for, what to expect. But tonight I want to talk about, I said extra board versus line haul in the intro, but it's actually extra board versus having a bid run. We're going to talk about that tonight because there is a difference while we slide on back to Columbus and finish this thing off. So, as you know, a lot of the line haul companies is seniority based. And what that means is the longer you've been at the company, the more seniority you have, the more choices you're going to have when it comes time to bid for a run. Now, where I currently work at, the bids are every 6 months, at least for now. That could change. This is not a union company, so, you know, take what you want from that. I don't think it's a bad thing, but to each their own. That's not what the topic of this video is. I'm not going to talk about union and non-union. So, I said all that to say that they can very well come and say, hey, we want to do a bid every year. You know? But as of now, it's every 6 months. So, what that means is when the bid starts, so the number one senior driver literally gets the pick of the litter as far as a bid run goes. Now, you could bid either on a run or you could bid on an extra board slot. Now, what that means is the extra board slot. I'm gonna throw some examples out there. You can have a Sunday through Thursday day bid, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. window. That window means they can send you out anytime between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. They may be able to send you out before or a little after. So you may be able to get that. They can have a Tuesday through Saturday. I did a 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. window. That's what I had out of orientation. You can have a Wednesday through Sunday time period. In 24 hours, the terminal I run out of is 24 hours a day. So you can literally have any of those days. You can have a Monday through Friday extra board. Anytime. Now, some people like working nights, some like working days. When you get enough seniority, you can pick. For me, I was on days for a month, and we rebid a month after I was here. I was number 191 out of 198 on seniority. So there were 7 people behind me. So when they got to me, the only thing they had available was nights. Either Wednesday through Sunday off Monday, Tuesday, or Tuesday through Saturday off Sunday, Monday. I chose to pick Tuesday through Saturday, 6 p.m. to midnight, and my reasoning was, if I'm gonna work nights, I'm hoping, you know, I don't want to work every weekend, so let me take a Tuesday through Saturday and have Sunday, Monday off, and 6 p.m. to midnight, and have a chance to get my night started and maybe get off early the next day. That was my mentality. So that's what I picked. There was no actual bid runs available. when they got to me. Only extra board slots. So once you get, you know, and real quick, something I want you guys to keep in mind if you're going to do LTL is you need to understand the size of the terminal you're going to run out of, how busy they are, how many drivers they have, how many doors they have, and what their schedule is like. Because some of these terminals, even where I work, some of the smaller terminals, they don't have no day runs. Whether it's extra board or bid runs on the line haul, they don't have any. All their line haul runs are at nighttime. So you may be in a situation that, you know, with these smaller terminals, everybody's been there for 20 plus years. Nobody's going anywhere. You're coming in, getting on the line haul, being at the bottom, and you're going to be there for another 10 or 15 years, running nights for 10 or 15 years. Can you sustain that long term? That's what you got to ask yourself. Now, lucky for me, I'm out of a big terminal. We got 300 plus doors, 200 plus line haul drivers. That's just line haul. They ain't counting the P&D guys. They don't affect us because the boards are different though. So, you know, you may get enough. It may take a year. There's some people that I work with that have been here less than a year that have bid runs. So being out of a bigger terminal has its advantages, but you may not live in an area where that's possible. So you may have to say, hey, I'm gonna run nights and then transfer to another terminal. You know, what type of driver are you? Are you a driver that likes to go to the same place all the time? A bid run may benefit you. This guy gets over in front of me doing 62, man. A bid run may benefit you. Where you want to know where you're going. Hey, I want to go to the same place. Now, do you want to go to a terminal or do you want to go to a meet point? Because eventually, if you stick around long enough, you're gonna have enough seniority where you can pick those things. And you'll be able to look at the run and say, hey, this goes to a meet point, cool. Or this goes to a terminal, cool. You'll have a little more options, but starting out, you're gonna have to get the scraps and kind of what you want. Whatever you can get until you get enough time to be able to get what you want. Bigger terminal, you'll move up quicker. Smaller terminal, it's gonna take a little longer. Now, if you're somebody who don't want to do the same run and go to the same place all the time, the extra board time slot might work better for you. You get enough time, you might say, hey, I want to work days. Hey, I like working nights. There's guys that like working nights. Less traffic, less office personnel, a lot of those things. Now you can pick what time slot you want on the extra board. And the extra board is covering runs for people that are on vacation, people who call off, you know, extra freight that pops up, boom. So you may be on the extra board, let's say in the summertime. A lot of the senior drivers in the summertime are taking vacation. So you can be on the extra board in the summer and get a gravy, lovely run for the whole week. Because the senior drivers are taking vacations in the summer. So you can still be on the extra board and make good money and do good runs. I'm on the extra board. I have an extra board time slot. I'm not on a bid run. Now, I'm somebody who don't necessarily want to go to the same places every day, but I'm open to it. Because there's some runs around here where I'm like, oh man, I like that. And there's some runs where I'm like, I don't know about that, man. You know? So for me, being on the extra board was kind of a plus because I said, hey, I could learn the runs, I could learn the terminals, I could learn the system. I could learn how each terminal is going to be different. Where they want the empties, where they want the loaded trailers to go, where the office is, you know, things like that. Okay, cool, they give me a chance to learn the system for the company that I work for. You may get a bid run, and then the next time the bid somebody could bump you off of that run. So, you know, that's something you may bump somebody off of their run. That's the name of the game when it comes to seniority. So, you know, those are things to think about when you're coming to these companies and you want, you know, longevity in a company you can retire from and things like that, you know. There's people here with 10, 12 years, 15 years seniority that's on the extra board. They got a good slot, whether it's days or nights, on what they want, and they cool with it. Not everybody want a bid run. There's people here on the bid run, you know, 20, 25 years. They're loving it. They can pretty much pick what run they want. That's what I desire to have. To be up at the top of the food chain on seniority, and I can pretty much pick whatever run that I want to do. Okay, I like this run, I'm gonna do it. Okay, I don't like that run, I'm good on that, you know. But also, real quick, just because you have a bid run, say you have a 2-turn bid run, that one of those turns can get canceled. That don't guarantee you a route. If you meeting somebody and that other driver, you know, his truck breaks down or they don't have the freight or that can't go, they may cancel that second part. They can give you something else, but they may not give you something else. So that's something else to keep in mind. Just because you have a bid run don't mean that you guarantee X amount of miles, because that's what the bid run pays if you run both. Because one of those very well can easily be canceled. Both could be, you know, there's so many variables that come into these routes. So just keep that in mind. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be good, but you just never know. Freight shortages happen, equipment shortages happen. Anything can happen to say, hey, you know, what's the old saying goes? Don't count your money before you get it. You may take a bid run, and that run is constantly late from the terminal. Every night you wait an hour, 2 hours for your freight. Or you can take a bid run and your meat driver has construction his way, he late every day. You waiting on him every day. There's nothing he can do. Or you may have a bid run when your meat driver, it just don't care about being on time. They stopping at the truck stop, they hanging out, they drinking sodas, they chilling with their feet kicked up, and they just like, okay, I see you when I see you. These are things that I hear from other drivers. Me, I take too much pride in what I do. So when they give me a run and they say, hey, go meet this driver, yeah, I'm not gonna kill anybody. I'm not gonna be unsafe. If I gotta use the bathroom or get something to eat, I'm gonna do that. But I'm also gonna be mindful and respectful of the driver that's waiting on the back end. He may be trying to go home. He may have another run to do after that. You just never know. Same as you trying to get back. You got to get that truck back for the next driver. He got to be available to go. So those are things to think about. You know, you may get on a bid run and say, hey, I like it. Cool, I'm gonna do it for a year. You may get on a bid run and say, nah, man, I don't like this. I'm going back to the extra board. That's something to do, but where I work at, if you're gonna be line haul, you gotta be line haul. Because once you, like say you go from line haul to P&D, which we're gonna talk about P&D here in the upcoming video. P&D stands for pickup and delivery, AKA the city drivers. You can switch from line haul to P&D, but you're gonna lose your seniority. You'll keep your seniority as far as vacations go, but you're gonna lose your seniority and you'll go to the bottom of the P&D. The same as if you wanna come from P&D to line haul. You'll keep your seniority on vacations, but you'll lose it as far as bidding purposes. And what that does is, it stops people from having their cake and eating it too. It stops people from running the line haul in the good months, and when the winter comes, they want to switch to P&D so they don't got to leave the city in all the snow. Stops people from having their cake and eating it too. I agree with it 100%. So on the extra board, you know you got your time slot, That first day is going to set the tone of how your week going to go. And what I mean by that is, for me, I had a 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. If I got out at noon and got back at 10, 11 o'clock at night, I knew I couldn't start till 9 or 10. But if I got out at 2 and I didn't get back till 3 or 4 the next morning, I knew I couldn't start back until 2. So therefore, if you start early, you got a chance of having an early week. It can change though if you're not running the same run every day. If you start later, more than likely your week is going to be late. You're going to be late, you know, getting out late every day, getting off late. Now, also on the extra board, you need to look at the time slot and learn your company. And what I mean by that is, where I'm at, midnight to 5 a.m. is the busy time. That's when the cluster freight, they call that the cluster freight, it's coming in, they're breaking it down, they're shipping it back out to other terminals. So, you know, you got a 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. time, you may have a greater chance of running terminal freight versus a 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. where you may cover a run that's on a meet point. That's not going to be that way 100%, but that's just something to think about. Okay, do I want to run terminal? There's nothing wrong with running terminal freight. There's not. There's nothing wrong with running to a meet point. There's not. But you may like one or the other, and you may have to play around with a few time slots, talk to a few different drivers to see, hey man, you know, what are you running? Okay, are you doing a lot of terminal? My buddy is on a midnight to 6 a.m. Sunday night, which is really Monday morning because it's midnight, to Thursday through Friday morning. Midnight to 6 a.m. He covers runs as well, but he does a lot more terminal freight, the cluster freight, than what I did on the 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. or what I'm doing on the 6 p.m. to midnight, because I'm out of the terminal before the cluster freight starts running. I didn't know that before coming here, but coming here now that I know, hey, I can pick his brain. Oh, Johnny Law up here in the middle, better be doing what you're supposed to be doing. I don't know if that's a county or full grown. That's a full grown. Got that Charger with the Hemi in it come out. Talk to me. But so yeah, I mean, I can pick his brain and say, hey, you know, what do you want? And also, I can pick his brain and say, hey, you've been to this terminal, I haven't. What's the process there? Or he can pick my brain and say, hey, you've been to this terminal, or you did this meet point run. You know, where do you meet at? What's the plan? And we can kind of share thoughts and let them know, hey, okay, well, this is what I did when I went, or yeah, when you go to the terminal, you turn right, go back there, drop just where the empties go, then go back there, you'll see where the dollies and another Johnny Law up here in the middle. They're looking for them super truckers. You know, and blase. So there's advantages and disadvantages to each. And I'm just, on the bid run part, I'm just speaking on speculation. That's county mounting. DOT county mounting at that. That was a motor carrier enforcement. As far as the bid run, I'm giving that information off of talking to my fellow co-workers, because I can't speak on that because I haven't had a bid run yet. But I have been on the extra board, and I'm still on the extra board. And we still here doing what we do. So as always, make sure your ride to your pickup and your delivery on time and safely. Call your loved ones. Tell them you love them. Love on somebody today. Please do it. Be the reason somebody smiles today. I mean it. Kindness is free. Kindness is an act that even the blind can see. Be the reason somebody smiles today. The world needs it now more than ever. Protect yourself out there. And we'll be back tomorrow. We're going to keep these videos pumping out. They coming. I hope y'all ready. I got the videos coming. Stop playing with me. It's Shamel, coming to you from the Small Fry Show. We back on our groove, and I'm happy to be back in it with y'all. I'm out. Peace.